I got the room, the light, the open door, the kind of life I used to ask you for. The noise got quiet, the nights got clean, but something in me stayed unseen. I wore the smile like it fit my face. I learned to move with a careful grace. But when the dark came back around, it knew exactly where I'd drown. Everybody said I made it out, so why do I still feel it now? Why does the silence pull me down and no one's around? I had everything I wanted, but it didn't hold me close. Had the sky open above me, still felt like I had no home. I could touch the dream I ran to, I could say I made it true, but I had everything I wanted and still came back to you. The city shines through my window glass, like every fear I thought would pass. But I still hear that quiet ache in every breath I try to fake. And all these walls, they know my name. They've seen the winds, they've watched the same old shadow pull across the floor, like I'm still who I was before. Maybe the dream was never wrong. Maybe I thought it made me strong. Maybe I carried this all along and called it gone. I had everything I wanted, but it didn't hold me close. Had the sky open above me, still felt like I had no home. I could touch the dream I ran to, I could say I made it true, but I had everything I wanted and still came back to you. If I reached the end of every road and still feel heavy in my soul, was it ever something I could fix, or just a wound I learned to live? And if the whole world says my name, but no one sees me through the pain, what is all of this for? If I'm still empty at the core, I had everything I wanted, and it still could not undo all the nights I went on breaking. In the dark I never showed I could hold the life I prayed for. I could stand inside the truth, but I had everything I wanted and still needed something true. Everything I wanted, everything but peace. Everything I wanted, still not enough for me. If I had the room, the light, the open door, the kind of life I used to ask you for. If every silence turned to peace, would something in me still not sleep? If I could wear a perfect face and move through all of this with grace? Would the dark still find me there, like it always knows just where? Everybody says that healing comes when you become what you were running from. So why do I still feel the weight before it even happens? If I had it all, would it finally hold me? Would the sky feel wide? Would the night go easy? Could I touch the dream without falling through it all? If I had it all, would it matter at all? If every window opened gold and every fear let go its hold, would I still hear that quiet sound, the one that pulls my whole heart down? And if the world knew all my name, would I still wake up just the same, with something missing in my chest? No matter how I trust the rest, maybe the dream was never wrong. Maybe I just took this ache along. Maybe no place I arrive can make me feel alive. If I had it all, would it finally hold me? Would the sky feel wide? Would the night go easy? Could I touch the dream without falling through it all? If I had it all, would it matter at all? If I reached the end of everything and still feel broken underneath, what was I chasing all this time? A better life or better light? And if I hold the world one day but still can't keep the dark away, what does having all things mean if none of it can quiet me? If I had it all, would it finally heal me? Would the cold let go? Would the silence leave me? Could I live inside the life I used to beg for in the dark? If I had it all, would it change my heart? If I had it all, if I had it all, if I had it all, would I still be this lost? The room is clean, the air is still, no shattered glass, no final scene. The world moved on without a sound, but something in me stayed between. No voice, no fight, no tears tonight, just quiet hanging from the walls. I tell myself there's nothing left, then feel your shadow through it all. No one would see it in my face, how something gone still leaves a trace, how empty hands can somehow hold a kind of pain that won't let go. Nothing still hurt, nothing still burned, nothing was left, but I still turned back to the dark, back to your words. Nothing was there, but it still hurt. Inside is cold, the window fades, the night leans heavy on the floor. There's no goodbye left in the air, just all the space that says no more. I tried to name what still remained, but all I found was missing you, a hollow shape a silent weight that followed me in everything I do. How does a ghost still shake the skin? How does the end keep settling in? How does the silence get so loud when you are nowhere near me now? Nothing still hurt, nothing still burned, nothing was left, but I still turn back to the dark, back to your words. Nothing was there, but it still hurt. Maybe losing you was not the fall. Maybe it was learning there was nothing there at all. Nothing to hold, nothing to save, nothing but the shape you're leaving made. And I keep reaching through the air like broken love is waiting there, but all I touch is empty space still. We're in your face. Nothing still hurt, nothing still stays, nothing still leaves in all my days. Nothing can speak, but I hear it first. Nothing was left, and that was the worst. Nothing still hurt, nothing still hurt. You were gone, but nothing still hurt. I got closer than I ever thought to the life I used to beg for. All the doors I watched from far away open like they knew my name. The lights were soft, the room was gold. Everything looked like hope, but somewhere underneath that shine, my heart stayed cold inside. I thought if I could make it here, the ache would disappear. But even in the perfect light, something didn't feel right. The dream felt empty, even with it in my hands. I stood inside the life I wanted, still didn't understand why the silence stayed so heavy, why the dark still found me. The dim felt empty, and I still felt incomplete. I wore the smile, I played the part, let the moment wrap around me. But every face and every sound only made the quiet louder. I touched the thing I used to chase and waited for the shift, but all I felt was missing something I could never name. I was wrong to think a dream could change everything. Maybe pain can follow you into the life you thought would heal you. The dream felt empty, even with it in my hands. I stood inside the life I wanted, still didn't understand felt incomplete. What do you do when it all comes true and nothing in you moves? What do you call a beautiful place that still can't carry you? Maybe I was chasing light to outrun something deeper, but no matter where I arrived, I still brought the hurt with me. The dream felt empty, like a sky with no stars left, like a room full of warm light, but no peace in my chest. I held the world I wanted, but it could not free me. The dream felt empty, and that emptiness was me. The dream felt empty. The dream felt empty. The dream felt empty. I thought it would save me, but the dream felt empty. I ran so hard toward the light, thought it would pull me from the night. Thought if I touched the life I chased, the hurt in me would be replaced. The doors unlocked, the room turned cold. I stood inside what I'd hoped, but all that shine on my skin couldn't quiet what lived within. Everybody said this was the moment, the one that heals, the one that opens. But I was standing in the proof, still feeling broken in it too. What I wanted didn't save me, didn't lift this weight away, didn't turn the dark to silence, didn't change the shape of pain. I could hold it, I could name it, I could say it all came true. What I wanted didn't save me, it just brought me here with you. I wore the smile, I played it calm, let the world believe I'd moved on. But every good thing touched the same old ache beneath a different name. I thought the dream would close the wound, instead it made the quiet bloom. And every night behind my eyes still carried all I couldn't hide. Maybe I gave too much meaning to something that was only reaching. Maybe no place and no desire can heal a soul that's still on fire. What I wanted didn't save me, didn't lift this weight away, didn't turn the dark to silence, didn't change the shape of pain. I could hold it, I could name it, I could say it all came true. What I wanted didn't save me, it just brought me here with you. What do you do when the dream arrives and you still don't feel alive? What do you call a door flung wide if something in you stayed outside? And what if all I ever chased was just a way to hide the ache? But no matter how far I came, I still brought myself the same. What I wanted didn't save me, didn't free me from myself, didn't fill the cold inside me, didn't turn to something else. I was reaching for a rescue, but the truth was running through. What I wanted didn't save me, I still had to make it through. What I wanted didn't didn't save me. I kept my eyes on something far, like it could heal this heart of mine. A life I thought would pull me out of every dark I hid behind. I held that hope so close for years, like one day it would cover everything. But when I touched what I had chased, the silence still was listening. I thought the light would change me, I thought the ache would fade. But even in the moment, the emptiness remained. I thought it would be enough to finally feel whole, to stand inside the life I wanted and not feel so alone. I thought it would be enough to quiet everything. But even with it in my hands, the hurt stayed underneath. The room was full, the air was warm, the kind of night I used to dream. But something in me stayed outside, like I was there but not complete. I smiled the way I knew I should, I let the moment wrap around me. But every beautiful thing I touched still couldn't pull the dark from me. Maybe I gave too much meaning to something I could never keep. Maybe no dream can ever fix the things that follow when you sleep. I thought it would be enough to finally feel whole, to stand inside the life I wanted and not feel so alone. I thought it would be enough to quiet everything. But even with it in my hands, the hurt stayed underneath. What do you do when it all arrives and something in you still won't rise? What do you call a dream come true if it still cannot carry you? Maybe I was asking more than any moment could restore. Maybe I was reaching out for peace that lives somewhere else now. I thought it would be enough to save me from myself, to fill the space I kept inside with something I could feel. I thought it would be enough to finally let me breathe. But even with the whole sky open, the ache still stayed with me. I thought it would be enough. I thought it would be enough. But the ache stayed with me. The ache stayed with me. I opened every door I knew, ran for the life I thought was true, held every hope up to the light, certain it would make me right. The room was full, the air was gold, everything I dreamed to hold. But standing there I felt it fade, like all that one was just a shape. I waited for the rush to come, for something in me to be undone. But all I felt was colder skin and emptiness beneath it. All of it meant nothing, all of it went dark. Every dream I carried still fell through my heart. I could touch the ending of everything I wanted, it real. But every light across my face only show what would not heal. And every voice in every room only made the silence bloom. Like I was standing in the proof, but nothing in me felt renewed. Maybe I believed too much in what a dream could turn into. Maybe pain can follow you no matter what comes true. All of it meant nothing, all of it went dark. Every dream I carried still fell through my heart. I could touch the ending of everything I wanted, but all of it meant nothing when it couldn't save my soul. What do you call the life you reached if peace is still beyond your hands? What do you call a beautiful place if you still break where you stand? Maybe I was chasing rescue through the shape of all I wanted, but no arrival, no bright moment could undo what lived inside me. All of it meant nothing when the night still knew my name, when the hurt came back untouched and the dream stayed just the same. I was holding what I prayed for, but I still could not feel whole. All of it meant nothing when it couldn't save my soul. The room was warm, the lights were low, the kind of night I used to hope would finally quiet everything that kept on breaking under me. I stood inside the life I wanted, held the moment in both hands, but somewhere underneath the surface I still could not understand why the silence stayed so close, why the ache still held my bones, why even in the softest light I still felt lost inside. Even then I felt alone, even with the whole world open, even with my hands on something I had waited for so long. There was beauty, there was meaning, there was everything but home. Even then I felt alone. I wore the smile, I played the part, let the moment wrap my heart, but every face and every sound only made the quiet louder now. And all the things I thought would save me passed through me like fading smoke, like I was standing in the center, but never really held by it. still hurt too much. Even then I felt alone. Even with the whole world open, even with my hands on something I had waited for so long. There was beauty, there was meaning, there was everything but home. Even then I felt alone. What do you call a perfect night if something in you still won't rise? What do you call a dream reached if peace still feels out of reach? Maybe I was never chasing things, maybe I was chasing what they bring. A kind of calm, a kind of place that never showed up on my face. Even then I felt alone. Even with the dark behind me, even with the door wide open, and the life I thought I'd need. There was wonder, there was motion, there was everything but peace. Even then I felt alone, and that loneliness was me. Even then I felt home. Even then I felt alone. Even then I felt alone. I had it in my hands and still felt alone.